Oh, hey guys.
Hello? Hello? Wow. You can finally hear me now, right? Yes. Okay. We've got a great classical music series performance this afternoon. The classical guitarists Benjamin Brown and Robert Kennedy will be out in just a moment, and they're going to dazzle us from Bach to the modern era. I want to talk just a little bit about what's coming up. We're in the home stretch for Romanza tonight at the First Congregation Sons of Israel Synagogue. On the other end of town is Zaza Flamenca. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the Voorhees Mission House, we have the author Shelley Marsh for Wine and Cheese, so that should be a lot of fun as well. Tomorrow night we have Mama Blue at the Pavilion, and the weather is supposed to be perfect for that, so you don't want to miss that one either. And then Friday we have one more chamber music series here. And by the way, thank Memorial Presbyterian for allowing us to use the space again this year, and the parking lot. They're not responsible for the construction on the street though. And then tomorrow, Friday night, Echo Duo Piano Duet at Grace United, thank you. I don't know how Kathy memorizes all of this. And then the weekend, you can check your schedules for the weekend events, but we've still got quite a few events all week. As I told you throughout the festival, for those of you who've heard my spiel before, the Romanza is trying really hard to keep these concerts free, and we rely on your donations to make that happen. So if you feel comfortable on the way out, leave a little donation in the basket for us. And without further ado, let me bring out our classical guitarists.
Here. Go YouTube.
Montre? I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, I can't see the title. Can I see the...
Give it to me.
Okay. Monferratus by Luigi Castellacci, something like that. Anyways, it's just a duet. I played it a couple years ago. This exact same spot with another band. So, yeah. I don't really know the backstory behind it, but it's cool. I like it. Okay, next piece I'll be playing is, by the way, I'm Benjamin, and this is Robert. I've been playing classical guitar since I was in like 6th grade, and I started under Chuck Rogers, and then
I started in high school, 9th grade. I played viola all my life though, so I kind of just got into it. I had a PhD teacher, so I kind of had my own teacher, but it was like through the school. So I've been playing for about 5 years.
So, we're actually in the same guitar program at UF, so I was like, my dad asked me, I had this opportunity, and I was like, I don't know if I have an hour's worth of music that I could confidently play, so I asked him if he wanted to play some duets and some solos with me, and he was like, yeah, so now we're here. Anyways, this next piece I'll be playing is Bach Cello Suite No. 1, the prelude from that. So yeah, by Johann Sebastian Bach. Aptitude down. Playing one more piece by it's Prelude No. 7, Opus 28 by Frédéric Chopin. Just a nice little piece. I love it so much. I always like play it whenever I'm practicing something really hard and I hate it and I hate it, so I just play that to calm myself down sometimes. So yeah.
All right, so these next two pieces are by a guy named Augustin Barrios Mangare. He's from Paraguay. Lived most of his life in El Salvador. He's a virtuoso guitarist composer. He's my favorite guitar composer. I actually was going to quit guitar about 2 years in because I thought all the music sucked. I played orchestral stuff for a while, so I was kind of familiar with what I liked and what I didn't. What? And I was at a concert in, where was I? It was somewhere in North Carolina. I think it was for EMF, Eastern Music Festival. And someone played the first movement of a piece called Bach Troll. It's kind of like a famous piece by him that gets like shuffled around. And I just remember thinking, wow, like that was beautiful. Like I couldn't really understand it. So I thought I want to learn his music. So I looked it up and I went through a bunch of catalogs about people playing it. And I picked a couple that I like. This is Sargento Cabral. And the next one is, let me see. Actually, the next piece isn't by Barrios, but I'll get to that later. Sargento Cabral was commissioned by someone, I'm not exactly sure who it was, but it just basically just means Sergeant Cabral, and he's a Paraguayan war hero from like Civil War, so, or I think he's a mythological figure, I'm not sure. But it's a really nice piece. It's in drop D, which means the E is tuned down to a D, and I think it's beautiful. Sorry, I changed my strings recently, so I'm frantically tuning them. All right, so these next three pieces are Venezuelan waltzes by a guy named Antonio Lara. He's a Venezuelan composer, same like virtuoso guitarist, composer, played his own music. I don't really know a lot about him, but I like his music. It's beautiful, I think he's a genius. These three pieces are written for his daughters. The first one's Tatiana, the second one's Andreina, and the third one's Natalia. So I'm gonna play them in that order.
This next piece I'll be playing is called Europa by Jose Luis Merlin. It's part of a suite, like Evocation or something like that. There's 6 songs, and he writes Evocation twice, which is weird, but it's okay. But yeah, so this is Europa, it's the final piece, so it's all like exciting and cool, I think. All right.
There's the pain.
I know. Next piece we'll be playing is a lesson for 2 lutes. It's for 2 lutes, but transcribed for guitar. I don't know much about it. It's just no known composer. It's anonymous or something like that. So yeah, I think I said so.
Oh, shoot.
No, it's not. Just, there you go.
Sounds wrong.
I'll be playing a couple pieces from this, is he Brazilian?
Yeah.
A Brazilian composer, Dilamando Reis. Found him because one time in studio class, Robert played this one piece, which is what I'll be playing next, and I thought it was so beautiful, and most of the time I'm falling asleep in that class, so yeah, so it caught my attention. All right, this one is called Se ela perguntar, something about a question, I think. I don't know exactly. I don't know the meaning behind it, but Robert will tell you the next
I don't know the meaning behind this one.
You don't know that? Okay. You'll
It's just a question.
I think it's a question. Maybe he's asking somebody out. I don't know. Okay. I don't know the full backstory behind this next piece, so Robert's going to tell you guys the backstory because he played it first.
Oh, okay.
Mike? There you go.
All right, so this is Uma Valsa et Dois Amores, which means a waltz for two loves. Two loves in question. There's a lot of interpretations. One is that he had a wife and a girlfriend at the same time. But like the more traditional one, like Brazilian culture, is that, well, it's kind of a niche thing, but like he's pretty famous in Brazil. But it's that he has a wife, he has a present relationship, and then he has someone from the past that he still cares about simultaneously. So it's like a meditation and kind of a love song. It's a little bit of both, expressing those feelings.
Okay. I'll have to look at this. Do that.
All right, these next two pieces are also by Barrios, or Mangone, the one I talked about previously. This first one is Julia Florida, and the second one is Preludio in La menor, which means Prelude in A minor. Julia Florida has kind of an interesting backstory. It's written for one of the students who's coming of age. She's turning 16. And it's kind of embedded in the title. Julia Florida means like Julia is her name, and then Florida is like flowers and blooming. So like she's turning 16, I guess, which is a little odd, but it's whatever. There's like rumors-ish, and when people were making like the biographies, I don't know how they have rumors because this guy was like basically unknown. One guy did the biography on him, so I'm assuming he kind of tried to sell the stories about the pieces so that they like did a little better. They're still beautiful. I mean, I think this is all very much art. But the rumors are that he had some sort of relationship with Julia, which is kind of weird, but it's fine. Artists are sometimes like that, I guess. What? No, sorry, it's not fine at all. I didn't mean it like that. But like,
I'm joking.
okay.
You're good.
You understand? Thanks. pretty well.
I saved your life. I saved your life.
Awesome.
All right, this is Prelude in A minor. It's also by Barrios. It's dedicated to his friend, Don Francisco Salazar. I don't really know anything about this piece, but I thought it was pretty when I was looking through his music, so it's kind of like a lullaby. It puts you to sleep a little bit, but in a good way.
We can move this out now.
Alright, the next piece that we'll be playing is La Recital, another anonymous composer, but it's also transposed from some, what's it called? It was originally a lute duet, right? So I'm kind of figuring out that most guitar duets aren't really guitar duets, and because that guitar hasn't really been around for a long time. So a lot of the times people just transcribe old lute duets to guitar. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I like this piece a little bit. Yeah, La Recital.
All right. Oh wait. That was empty for a second. All right.
So these next two pieces are also by Barrios, kind of just all I know. But it's Machiche and La Catedral. Machiche is a traditional Afro-Brazilian dance. I'm not really sure about it, but it's pretty cool. The piece sounds happy, which is kind of a new thing for Barrios. So I was like, that sounds cool. I want to play that. It also sounds like it's kind of chasing the beat. It's a really nice center, but it's also pretty hard. So I'm gonna do my best. This next piece is La Catedral. It's only the first movement because I didn't prepare the other two. But it's written, well, let me give the full story. The original piece, the second and third movements, were written, I think, like 10 years prior to the first movement. But they're supposed to depict, the second movement is supposed to depict the inside of a church, like being calm and like serene. And then the third movement, which is the Allegro, I can give like a little demo. This is the Andante. So like kind of like ringy, sounding nice. This is the Allegro. Something like that. But the first movement was added on later because Barrios felt it was incomplete. It's dedicated to his wife, who I'm not actually sure if she died. I think she divorced him a couple of years prior. But it's a really nice, peaceful piece. It's like really spiritual. It's probably one of the most famous classical guitar pieces. It's used in a lot of video games and movies and stuff. So this is the prelude.
I really can't miss this one.
Music.
Huh?
Do you have music?
Oh no, but I have it. Baby.
No.
Restart. I'm sorry. Okay.
Alright, so this next piece I'll be playing is called Tango in Sky by Roland Dians. He was a French guitarist, and this piece started off as an improvisation, like I think before one of his shows, somebody was like, yo, that's cool, and then he wrote it down. So yeah, and sky means fake leather, and I think he's French, so probably French. And it's kind of a fake tango. So yeah, I say so much. All right. So there's the next piece I'm performing, or will be performing, is Schizzerno by Manuel Ponce. I don't know much about this piece, but I remember that my friend Joe, when I was in sophomore year, he was like, yo, let's play a duet. We didn't end up playing it, but now I am. It's kind of cool. I like it. this final piece, I'll be playing Fuoka by Roland Diaz again. He's like one of my favorite artists. So when Roland Diaz was in his 40s or 50s, something like that, he had a heart attack. That's bad. But after it, he wrote 3 movements of, I think it's Libra Sonatine. This is the final movement. It describes kind of what he felt after, or maybe going into surgery, and then like after it's like all chaotic and just everything like that. So, yeah.